In college algebra, we finally wrapped up this handout. In the last video, I believe we ended by finishing out part D here. So let's do part E. There's a few different ways to approach it. One way I attempted to approach it at first was to first change this to a radical and do this. But then I realized that wasn't really going to work. So I stopped there. It's not necessarily wrong, but it's a dead end. I think it's doable, but you have to be really clever. So what if we just multiply these two? We get 35, and we have two variables like bases. That means you add the exponents, right? So we'll go 1/2 plus 3/4, and we can do that. That looks a little nicer than two weird-looking radicals with different roots. So I do need a common denominator when I add those two. So let's multiply by 2 over 2 to give us a denominator of 4. And now we have 2/4 plus 3/4, which is 35x to the 5/4, which I am actually a-okay stopping with. But arguably, if you turn it to radical form, you can take an x out of the radical. So if we turn this into radical form, there are 5 x's in there, which means 4 of them can come out as 1. So some may say a better answer would look like this. I think this looks pretty ugly looking though. I would prefer this one here, but if you end up writing it like that second circled one, then oh well. Either of those circled answers. Okay, this last little bit is just plain old simplifying algebraic expressions. This is a big deal though, because number 5 is totally different from number 6 in terms of first step. Look at these two differences right here. Very different. So since we have a plus sign, all we have to do is add like terms. No multiplying, no distributing. Do not distribute. Because of the plus sign. Now, there are a few other plus signs. We're talking about that plus sign. Because of the plus sign, you can drop the parentheses and combine like terms. So let's do that. We have negative 9x cubed plus 7x squared minus 5x plus 3. Now, if that, where that arrow is pointing at that plus sign, if that had been a negative, then you'd have to flip all the signs. But that's not the case here. Plus 13x cubed plus 2x squared minus 8x minus 6. So let's underline the cubes. Maybe square the squares. This is just to organize things so we can see like terms a little better. Be careful you don't accidentally cross out a negative. Signs are really important. We end up with negative 9x cubed plus 13x cubed, so that's 4x cubed. 7 and 2 gives us 9x squared. Negative 5 and negative 8 gives us negative 13x. And plus 3 minus 6 gives us negative 3. And that's it for number 5. On number 6, we don't have a plus sign. No plus sign. You must distribute. All right, so let's change colors, and we're going to multiply 2x times the first, 2x times the middle, 2x times the last, and we end up getting 2x cubed plus 8x squared plus 10x. Now I need to distribute the 3 times that, times that, times that. We get 3x squared plus 12x plus 15. Now add your like terms. Looks like we have a like term here and here and here and here. So just drop that 2x cubed down. 8 and 3 gives us 11x squared. 10 and 12 gives us 22x plus 15. All right, now on number 7, it looks a little easier. I think it actually is. Let's distribute. We get 15x squared minus 9x plus 20x minus 12. Typically, in a problem like this, you have to combine the two middle ones, and sure enough, those are our like terms. So we end up with a final answer of 15x squared plus 11x minus 12. All right, number 8. Please, please notice this square. There's a lot involved with that. What I would do if I were you is write it twice. Some people can remember the pattern and do all this in their head, but you should end up with 4 terms, not 2. All right? We end up with 25y squared plus 20y plus 20y plus 16. You should have 4 terms. Now 2 of them combine, and we end up with this final answer. I mean, some people can do this in their head, but let's rewrite that 6. I would personally just do it this way. Many people get the first term, this. They get this term, but they forget about that term, the inner and the outer. So I would write it twice, FOIL it out, and you'll get it every time. That's it. See y'all later. Bye.